But let's get it to the core of what is really behind ageism. And that is recognizing that ageism is a bias. It's one of the many isms that are behavioral manifestations of bias. They are conscious and unconscious, and they reinforce oppression and inequities in our society. So, implicit bias refers to the brain's automatic and instant stereotyping or association of whether it's favorable or unfavorable towards a particular group without conscious awareness. The difference from explicit or conscious bias is that we may choose to conceal for purposes of social and political correctness how we really feel. Implicit biases are often considered blind spots. This is the tricky part. We're most often not aware that we're holding on to these ageist views. We hold on to them, yet we are unaware of them. And how we learn about our blind spot is being open to getting feedback. If someone gives you, a peer, a colleague gives you feedback regarding why do you avoid particular patients like this, or why do you treat particular patients like this, it's a moment for you to reflect, do I have a blind spot? Is there something that I am holding on to in terms of my views and beliefs? This is a really wonderful video that I'd like to share with you about the challenges of making assumptions.
Are you seriously considering her as a candidate?
Don't trust her.
She's a woman.
She's a woman.
This is a man's
She's
job.
clearly not educated.
Really? Does she even speak English?
That's not me. I'm not like that. You call it an honest mistake. Science calls it a blind spot. Our unconscious mind is a mysterious and powerful thing. It makes 90% of our decisions without us even knowing it. Our brains are overloaded with 11 million pieces of information every second. Yet we can only process about 40 of them. So we're wired to make cognitive shortcuts, using past experiences to make assumptions. And you know what happens when we assume. Our unconscious mind can put us on autopilot, determining where we sit, who we eat lunch with, who we turn to for advice, and who we choose to offer a helping hand. Living our lives with blind spots can put us in a tunnel. Same point of view, same decisions, same outcomes. We can find ourselves trapped in the land of snap judgments and misconceptions. We've all been on both the giving and receiving end of blind spots. Think about it. Who's talented? Who's able? Who can I trust? Who belongs? We've all been there. Blind spots are part of the human condition. Our choices have consequences for us and the people we interact with. By accepting that blind spots exist, we can stop. Imagine what possibilities exist if we could do it all over again. Different perspectives, inclusive relationships, diverse networks, better outcomes, seeing people for who they really are. People like you, with unlimited potential. We all have blind spots. Once you accept that you have them, you can choose to do something about it. It's time to check your blind spots and focus on what's possible.
I love that video. And so I really want you to understand that there is the root behind ageism is implicit bias. So I want to just briefly also bring up a particular type of bias that I think is very common when we talk about ageism. And this is called the brain's negativity bias. And so the theory is that if you have a particular experience, a negative experience, that you will hold on to that negative experience more than you will hold on to the positive experience. So the brain is like Velcro for negative experiences. We can't let it go. If you have one bad experience with an older adult, you then project it onto all older adults. And this particular theory was postulated by Rick Hansen. And I want to just say that this is tricky to unpack this. And so we need to really think of ways in which we can counteract the the brain's negative bias. And I'm going to talk a little bit more in a further slide talking about why we might be overwhelmed with a lot of these negative biases. But first, I want to show you actually one of a wonderful video. This is made by AARP, and it's really gets to the crux of what we're talking about today in terms of ageism and what is really behind ageism. It's often ignorance and not really knowing.
Hey, how's it going? You can stand right there. That's your mark. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Great.
Awesome.
Just tell us your first name and your age.
My real age?
My name is Paolo. I'm 25 years old.
My name is Daniela, and I'm 19.
24. 35.
31. 33.
I'm 26 years old.
What age do you consider to be old?
Late 40s?
Maybe 50.
I feel like 30s and new 20s, so I'd say like 40 is old.
I'd probably say 50s.
I'd like you to show me how an old person would cross the street. Show me how an old person would send a text message. How might an old person do a push-up? What about jumping jacks? Okay, hang on. There's someone I want you to meet.
Hello, I'm Birch. I'm 66.
Hi, I'm Daphne, and I'm 68.
I'm D, and I'm 55.
George Fassbinder, 75.
My name's Parvati. I'm 70.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
We're gonna give you about 2 minutes to teach each other something that you are good at.
I can teach you a jump that I do.
Okay, please.
Both of your legs go up, and your arm goes up, and your left arm goes like to the side. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Lift 1, 2, 3. And bring it to your heart. And bring it to your heart. Add the head in. Yeah.
You want to try to get your balance.
And raise up. Now, you bring your legs and your feet up. It's hard, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So when you come out of a turn, either way, you go back to that basics.
Over. Now forward. Over. Yeah.
Square it like this, and give me a hook. Hook. Jab, cross, hook, and then we'll go like this, all right?
1, 2, 3.
Now, what age might you consider to be old?
Probably 80 or 90. He could just do everything that I told him to do. An age that I would consider to be old now might be 100.
Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, I said in the 50s. I thought that would be old. But when I thought about it, like...
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry.
I can do it. It really changed my thinking of what old is. You've taught me something today. Clearly, there's no way she's old, you know?
Now I know from today, hey, I don't look at age.
At my age, I feel like I did when I was in my 20s.
There's so many things that I still want to do. There's so many things that I can do. As long as I'm growing and learning, then age doesn't matter.
When people start stopping, that's when they start getting old.
Thank you.
It's so true.
Thank you so much. Okay. Thanks,
Thank
Daphne.
you. It was great meeting you.
How long have you been doing?
Okay. I hope that from that video that you are now aware that one of the biggest, I think, contributors to ageism within our society is the fact that older adults or younger folks are seldom interacting with older adults. We live in a very segregated society. Most peers are only interacting with themselves. Maybe within the family context, you might see some intergenerational, but the truth is that most individuals are hanging out with their peer mates. And so what it leads to is a lack of understanding, a lack of awareness in terms of what are the possibilities for older adults in terms of their abilities, skills, etc. And so from that video, you are able to see them start off with these horrific stereotypes and making fun of older adults walking across the street or doing jumping jacks. And then when they're finally confronted with an older adult that can do things that they can't do, suddenly it changes. So ageism is everywhere. 1 in 2 people worldwide are ageist against older people. It's basically 50% of the planet. Ageism affects us throughout the life course and exists in our institutions, our relationships, and in ourselves, okay? And another thing about ageism is that it often intersects with other aspects of social disadvantages, whether it's disability, race, gender, or sex. And so ageism is everywhere. This is some information from a national poll on healthy aging by AARP, where they sampled about 2,000 adults between 50 and 80. And what they found in terms of experiences with everyday ageism is that about 82% of the respondents said that they experience 1 or more forms of ageism every day in their daily life. 65% said that they were exposed to ageist messages. 45% said that they experience ageism in an interpersonal interaction, and 36% reported that they have internalized ageism. Oof, those are horrible numbers. I wanted to also show you here which is some data from the World Health Organization in terms of identifying those regions in the world that have moderately or high ageist attitudes. And so we see that, interestingly enough, in Southeast Asia and in Africa, there are very, very high levels, followed by Eastern Mediterranean and by Europe, the Americas, and just globally about the prevalence is about 55%. But I want to just step back because I don't want us to just buy into the fact that older adults are experiencing a lot of this ageism and are internalizing it. I want to also say that from the same poll, AARP poll, again, interviewing adults between 50 and 80, that there's a high level of positive views among older adults. 88% feel comfortable being themselves as an older adult. 80% have a strong sense of purpose. 67% feel more positive about aging. And 65% think that their lives are better than they thought it would be. So this is something good to understand, that even though our older adults are exposed and are aware that their lived experience of aging is very positive. So ageism is harmful, as I intimated at the beginning. Ageism has far-reaching impacts on all aspects of an individual's health, their physical health, their mental health, as well as their social and psychosocial well-being. Ageism also can take a heavy economic toll on individuals and society. This is a video that I really love, and you're going to have to pay attention to the subtitles because these are older adults around the world talking about how harmful and hurtful it is to feel disregarded as an older person in their community.
Kama wanatembea barabara, wanasema wakati yake naisha na mishene. Tunasikia mbaya, tunasikia chungu, hii hawa ni watoto yetu. Kuishi kwa wazee ni faida na maisha mzuri. Kukaa na wazee ni faida kubwa.
Los jóvenes piensan de que porque ya somos viejos ya no servimos aquí en la sociedad, es lo que ellos piensan, ¿no? Y eso no es así. Nosotros podemos todavía seguir trabajando, haciendo una cosa, otra cosa, dando inclusive consejos a los jóvenes y todo, pero ellos piensan que hablamos de más, todas esas cosas.
Uphethwe kuluphala. Angifeel alright. Ngifika ngathi angisimuntu mina. Yeah. Ngifila ngathi angisimuntu.
Asiphelele ihliziyo ma ugogo bathi hayi ugogo asinamaphilisi yakho so thola athi ugogo ukhulile asenamaphilisi yakho ukunika ugogo. Asamukeleki kahle nasezibhedlela.
Comme yo dit en Haïti, les monde grand ou pas, ou pas valet, ou pas, ou pas dans la société, ou c'est grand monde, ou pas respect. Alors il dit grand.
Sí, este comportamiento de los jóvenes no está bien, porque todos desde pequeños más bien debemos prepararnos cómo queremos llegar a ser adultos mayores, porque todo el mundo va a llegar a ser adulto mayor. Entonces falta ser un poco más previsores en este caso.
Старость не радость. Но я с этим не согласна. Почему? Да потому что вокруг меня дети, внуки. И все так прекрасно, все хорошо. А в душе я совсем молодая.
Ageism is all around us. Take a stand against ageism. I love that video, but it makes me a little bit sad because it really hones in on the impact that these ageist beliefs or these attitudes, stereotypes, and discrimination that you're not valued anymore are having on the older adults that we're trying to care for.